So without further ado, I'm just going to jump into this call. My name's Daniel Renton, weight loss coach at Momentum NRG Weight Management, and today we're excited to bring along our guests with us today. We've got Rhona, who has just completed her program, in fact still on the program and getting amazing results. So we're going to talk about her journey today. But we're going to spin back. So Rhona, just give a quick introduction, like your name, where you're from, and how you heard about Daniel at Momentum NRG.
Okay, well, I'm Rhona and I'm 58 years young. I've heard about Momentum when I joined Bannatynes, and I was attending the aqua classes, the mad aqua classes that Daniel was taking, and gosh, they were crazy, and gosh, they were really good. And I was having a wee chat with him about how I was feeling, and he was telling me about what he could perhaps help me with. So I decided I would sign up with his program.
Awesome,
which was
fantastic,
good.
fantastic.
A good start.
So we've started up on, for people watching this, Rhona's doing like a hybrid option of Momentum NRG. So Rhona, you're really lucky. You also get to see me in person.
Okay, I'll take your word for that, Daniel.
Just because the majority of people watching this tonight, this morning, like I work with clients all over the UK, helping them transform their life, and it's online, whereas Rhona is on a hybrid package at Bannatynes where she also gets to see me in person as well. So I think, like, Rhona, there'll be hundreds and millions of women over the UK wishing they would be able to see me in person, you know. So jokes aside, what were you struggling with then prior to chatting with me?
Well, my weight just kept getting bigger, getting heavier and heavier. My mobility was suffering. Last November, I was having to walk up the stairs one step at a time because my hips were so sore. Really sore knee earlier on in the year. So as well as my weight was evidently affecting what I was able to do, and of course how I was feeling about myself, because that's probably the most important thing for me, is that, you know, I didn't feel like myself. I felt like a really old 57-year-old at the time because of my restriction in my mobility. And it was mostly probably because of my weight and my lack of exercise. Now, I had tried and been successful years ago with Scottish Slimmers, you know, so I had done the diets, and, you know, was big into low calorie everything. And I've never been a one for eating processed food myself, so I like to cook my own food. And I found that, well, my portions were far too big as well, or not probably, they would have been far too big as well. I'm just going
to jump in there, Rhona. So just going back to what you were struggling with, so it was affecting your mobility. Yeah. It was affecting how you. Let's talk about how you were feeling. Like, what do you mean? Like, it was affecting how you were feeling?
Miserable, because you know, I had almost a wardrobe full of clothes that I couldn't get into, and the clothes that I had were beginning to get tighter and tighter, and that just was bringing, you know, my head and my head space, bringing me down, you know, and it was just, I felt rubbish, and I knew at that time that it was time to take some kind of an action. And fair enough, I've always been an active person. I played hockey up until I was 5 months pregnant with my son, you know, and I've always loved playing sports, but all of that had just stopped. And I think the menopause had a big impact as well. And of course, COVID kept us all indoors, although I have a dog, and so I had no excuse. I did still have to walk him, but I just wasn't getting enough energy and keeping my momentum going throughout that time. So was struggling both physically and also in my mind, probably in my headspace.
Okay. So you tried diets before. What, like, you tried low calories? What other things had you tried to fix this over the years?
Well, I tried fasting. So I've joined Slimming World, and as I said, I've been in Scottish Slimmers, but that was a lot of years ago. I tried Slimming World, and I just didn't have the motivation to keep going. And as I say, my weight was just increasing and increasing. So it was definitely time for me to take action.
Okay, so you took action. Then what was different about this approach that worked for you better than anything else you've tried before?
Was never hungry, never restricted from eating what I wanted, and have been able to continue enjoying my life as well, and socializing and going on holiday, which I like to do about every month or so. But it's just it's a complete change in my mindset of the way I thought about how to lose weight, and not as I say, restricting myself, and being able to eat food that I really like as well, which is brilliant, as well as treat myself, have some alcohol every now and again, and chocolate when I want it. It's made me more mindful of what I'm eating. So that's been really good, and it's changed my thoughts on diet food and diet juice. I used to drink lots of diet juice, and I've completely stopped drinking that now. I just drink water, unless of course it's some diet tonic. If I have a gin, that's about it, So, and I've touched on that. I didn't like eating processed food. Well, I'm aware of what I put in my body more. I don't want to put in the chemicals and the harmful things that is in diet products. I've only got one body, so I've got to look after it. So tried lots of things, but this has been easy.
What's been easy about it then? What's been easy in terms of implementing it? And just for people watching this, they might not know the level of support that you get, like that daily accountability.
Well, that's probably the best thing, is that I have to complete a food diary every day, as Daniel knows, and I fill that out, and it makes you aware of when you're eating as well, because for us older women, it's important to keep your blood sugar levels kind of constant, so you don't starve yourself, and you have to keep topping up your food levels, is the way that I look at it. I try and eat at least every 3 hours, even if it's a piece of fruit. I keep going with that, and eating the right stuff. So no more diet products for me, just where I can do organic stuff, but I'm not that fussy about that. But it's where I can do organic stuff. Other than that, I just eat a sensible amount and eat the right things.
So it's more going back to what you mentioned earlier on about controlling the portions and
Yeah.
reducing the portions, but eating more regular and often to balance your blood sugar level. So let's talk about the results then that you've achieved. Then walk me through what's changed for you since we met in December 2022.
Well, my energy levels are a lot better. I do go to the gym. Not that I enjoy it that much, but I do go. I go to the aquafit classes still. I'm out with my dog a lot more. My clothes fit me better. Some of my dresses are too big, which is fabulous. Not that I wear an awful lot of dresses, but I have got some holiday dresses, and they're too big for me. And that's just going back from November of last year, and even earlier on this year when I went on holiday, I couldn't take clothes away because they were too big. So I've had to get a smaller size, which can see by the smile of my face, that's really good. I'm more than happy with that. I'm able to run around with my grandson as well now. He's just coming up for 3, and I have him 1 day a week, and he runs me ragged for that day. But I play football with him now, and yeah, walking wherever I want to walk to. I just can do it all. I have absolutely no qualms about having sore hips, and I can run up the stairs 2 at a time. Not quite, maybe just 1 at a time. But I feel, so that's the important thing.
Amazing. Like, congratulations on how you're feeling, and you've got more energy, and it's great you're running around with your grandchild more, and your self-esteem's improved, you're wearing smaller clothes sizes, you've lost 30 pounds. It's truly sensational. You mentioned about the gym. I'm going to have to say this because there might be people from Bannantynes watching this as well. So you love the gym, Rhona, tell the truth, you know. Well, you're in there 3 times a week.
I know. Definitely. I don't mind going. Yeah. I don't really like the gym. It's not my favourite type of exercise, but I'm doing it. Everybody that I know now is so old and decrepit, they can't play squash with me anymore or play badminton or everything else that I used to do when I was younger. So I'm happy to go to the gym. And I like going for a swim, and I also get my sister going as well, get her going to
Going on about the gym though, Rhona, like in the exercise side of stuff, and it's something I want to talk to people on here about today as well, is that actually when it comes to weight loss, Rhona, this has got nothing to do with the exercise at all anyway. So it really is, when it comes to losing weight, Rhona's 100% dialed in her nutrition. It's all about the daily truth diaries and that daily accountability. Likely that most people don't get that daily support. Like, you know, they're not getting somebody checking their food diary every single day and giving them feedback and giving them praise or making adjustments or whatever. And I think that for people watching this, you can't outrun a bad diet at the end of the day. So exercise will add years to your life and life to your years, because you'll be fitter and healthier and stronger. But when it comes to weight loss, we don't focus on exercise as a factor in weight loss. So watching this today, you don't have to do the gym, you don't have to go swimming, you find out what you like doing. Like, that's it at the end of the day. Don't do something if you don't enjoy it. Like, I've got plenty of people that don't do the gym and lose loads of weight as well. So just to clarify that there. So what would you say to people on the fence, Rhona, that are watching this today?
Well, for me, it's worked really well, and I'm just a normal person. As I say, I've tried lots of other things, and none of them have given me this success. And more importantly, I think that I've lost 30 pounds, but I'm continuing. I've still got a bit of a journey that I want to carry on with, and this is sustainable. So it's not, once I get to the weight that I want to be, I know that I'll be able to maintain it by making adjustments, and really just, I'm more aware, as I said earlier, about what I'm actually eating. So that for me it's worthwhile doing. It's a commitment, a financial commitment, but it's really worthwhile doing. And I can't thank Daniel and the rest of the guys at Momentum for all of their support enough, because it's just been fabulous. And Daniel's sat and watched me cry in the gym and got me through it. Maybe that was just, I didn't want to go to the gym that day. But I mean, the support is there, and he understands everything that you go through your weight loss journey, and it's very important. And it's the support from Daniel is just fabulous. Filling in the truth diary really does make a difference as well. So yeah,
I think the truth diary is massive for me. Like, you know, and it's something I've done with my clients for over 20 years, Rhona, is the truth diary. And let me tell you, when I introduced the daily diary, I used to do it weekly, Rhona, up until 2019. And when I introduced daily accountability, the success of my transformations became far superior, like, you know, almost 100% success rate. I'm not going to say it's a full 100% because some people don't follow it and don't submit their diaries. And if you're not submitting your diaries, then you won't get the results. It's really that simple. You've got to commit. You're right. You've got to commit. You've got to make a commitment to the process, you know, and I'm confident like that if you 100% stick to the process, you'll 100% get the results, but that's on a commitment from yourself. So yeah, amazing, Rhona. Now, I did mention, have you got anything else you'd like to add?
Um,
I'm going to see if there's any. I'm going to.
I would just, if you're on the fence, you know, you need to find out if it's the right time for yourself. But if you are going to do it, then, you know, give it your 100%, because if you don't put 100% in, you won't get 100% or the results that you're looking for out of this. But it's so worthwhile doing, and it's changed me, hopefully for the better. Well, there's less of me now than there used to be, so that might be a good thing. So yeah, it's worthwhile doing, definitely.
Brilliant, amazing. So thank you very much for sharing that your journey with you. It's been inspiring. I'm just checking to see if there's any questions. That anybody's got any questions I want to ask before I kind of finish up as well. And I did promise that I was going to cover free hacks as well, nutrition hacks on this live today as well. So Pauline's live. Hi, Pauline. #live. Jackie's live. Jackie and Pauline care to share your progress on your journey. They're working with me online. They don't get to see me in person like you, Rhona.
No,
you know, geez.
not as long as me.
We've got Carol live. Hi, Carol. Carol's again on the journey. I was interviewing Carol a few weeks back. I think she was at something like £19. I think, Carol, you're more than 20 odd pounds over now there as well. Rhona McCaw, this is quite a funny one actually. Her name's Rhona as well. She's also 50 years old, she says, as well. And you're my doppelganger, she said, Rhona. That's brilliant. Gillian Shivers said excellent work as well. Chris Ann McKenzie has come in and said well done. Toe blister or something like that. I don't know what that is. Is that somebody you know?
Yeah, that's my sister, Chris Ann.
I need to meet the sister of yours actually. Let me have a look, see if I recognise her face actually. Let me see. Yeah, now I know where she is on Facebook. I can come and hunt her down now. That's it, you know. She's going to be next on my list. So yeah, no, thank you, Rhona, and thanks for any questions. If anybody got any questions, fire away. I'm going to quickly cover, before I jump on, I'm going to mention I've got 7 more spaces left in this month's promotion, which is the rest of August for free as well. So if you come in now, you're going to get August for free. Join now, 7 spaces. Drop me a message and we'll arrange a free weight loss audit call. So before Rhona actually started, we had a wee chat, but we then jumped on a Zoom call, Rhona, if you remember correctly. We did have a Zoom call. We definitely had a Zoom. I'm sure we had a chat on Zoom first.
Yeah.
We always do. I've got an application process. So Rhona filled out an application form. We then had a chat to see if it was a fit for her. And of course, fit for us as well to work together. Like, we're not just offering everybody a place in the program, because as Rhona highlighted earlier on there, like, I'm only really looking for people that are ready to make a commitment to change. Like, if you're not going to be prepared to submit your diaries and you don't want to do this, then don't bother applying, kind of thing. Like, you know, I want people genuinely that are ready to commit and to do what's required of them, and are ready to make changes and forget what they've been told and learn a new way, a better way, a healthier way of thinking and changing their mindsets and eating real food and none of this diet stuff. So, yep, book in for a free weight loss audit call. We'll have a chat, and if it's a fit, great. If not, then at least maybe you've got some value and clarity. So that's 7 more spaces left, and I'm going to cover the free hacks now to a healthier nutrition. Okay, so read a good book whilst I was on my holiday in Portugal, and hack number 1, because we were talking about balancing blood sugar levels, is eat your greens first. We were talking about this other day, Rhona, weren't we?
Yeah.
So the Momentum Energy if you're just new to watching this today and you're wondering what the 5-point nutrition method is, I've got a training on this. So hashtag me 5-point nutrition method, or just hashtag me 5-point, and I can send you that training, which explains the philosophy about keeping the blood sugar levels balanced throughout the day to release the fat. So let's say you eat your greens first. So let's say I was on holiday last week, and this is how I've been explaining it. I had fish, potatoes, and vegetables. Now, I love potatoes, okay? So let's say I eat the potatoes first. This is what happens to my blood sugar levels. I get a rise, more of a rise in my blood sugar levels, okay? So let's say I eat the greens first. I eat the vegetables. I get less of a release on my blood sugar levels. Because what happens is the fiber in the vegetables acts as like a gooey system. It's like a goo inside the upper tract of the digestive system, and it stops the release of blood sugar. And in fact, it can actually stop the release of blood sugar by up to 75% of your blood sugar hit. If you then eat your vegetables, then you eat your fish afterwards, or chicken or whatever, then that will also have a slow releasing effect, which means there's less blood glucose. So what happens to the blood glucose is that gets sent to the muscle cells for future storage, okay? It gets stored as muscle glycogen. Now, if those muscle glycogen stores are full, then it gets converted to fat. So when we're overeating foods or carbohydrates, they'll store as fat. So the more blood glucose you have, the more fat storing opportunities you have. So the less fat storing opportunities, well, less fat you're going to be. So also your body produces insulin, because insulin's a fat, and also insulin's a fat storing hormone. The more blood glucose you have, the more insulin you're going to, so the more fat you're going to store. So the less blood glucose, again, you're now storing less fat twice, okay? Also, when it comes with a rapid rise, tends to come more of a rapid fall. So you end up in low blood sugar. Your body's then producing cortisol and adrenaline. Cortisol's a more fat storing hormone. So the quicker the rise, the quicker the fall as well, okay? So eat your greens first, that'll slow you down. So, for example, I had scrambled egg and toast one morning, and I just had a little bowl of salad beforehand. That actually slowed down the effect of the bread on my blood sugar stream, okay? And that will save you. So it's like with the calorie counters. The calorie counters will say to me, like, you know, they'll be maybe counting numbers on a plate. So it might be, I had somebody submit a diary. She just started the program, so I'm not going to mention names. She had one slice of toast in the morning. So whilst it might be less calories than beans and toast, if you add beans to it, which is number 2. So number two, dress your greens, dress your carbs, sorry, dress your carbs. So if I were just to eat the toast on its own, then this is what's going to happen. I'm going to get more of a spike on my blood sugar level. And if I have to add some, maybe say beans and cheese, the fiber in the beans is going to reduce it to less. So I'm going to be producing, even though I'm eating more, I'm going to be producing less blood glucose, which means I'm going to be storing less fat than the person who's like counting numbers on a plate and stuck to that. I don't count any numbers on a plate. None of my clients count any food. We just eat little and often and fill out a truth diary every day. So dress your carbs. So that could be like, you know, paella, for example. Like I like paella. I'm not going to eat my vegetables first before eating my paella, because it's like it's all together. So I'm just going to mix it together. Rather than if I was going to have a bowl of pasta, then maybe have a wee salad before the bowl of pasta, because that will slow down the release. Or put some vegetables in your pasta. That'll help to slow the release as well. So you're mixing it together. So it's food combining. These are not new theories. These have been going around for, I've got a presentation on my for 20 years ago about food combining. This isn't a new process. So number 3, and what I find with people that have done diets before, Rhona, as well, is that they'll tend to be avoiding certain foods. They'll have rice cakes, for example, on its own. Like, so that's just going to have a rapid rise in your blood sugar levels. They're refined carbohydrates. They're not that good for you, really, to be honest with you. You know, you're probably better switching that to like an oat cake, maybe a bit of cheese and maybe some tomatoes on top, which will bring down. So your food combining, your stressing your carbohydrates. So number three, quite straightforward. Number three is move. Okay. So now I'm not talking about going to the gym or exercising. Obviously that'll help as well. But when it comes to balancing your blood sugar levels, like a lot of people think, right, well, I've eaten 100 calories, so I'll burn 100 calories, like, and that'll balance off. Now, it doesn't really work like that. That's not how the body actually works. So when you eat something, you get a rise in your blood sugar levels. The best way to flatten that curve, so you're actually using up the blood glucose. That's what you want to use up. You want to use and within 90 minutes they do. So after you eat, go for a 10-minute walk. That will help to flatten the curve off. So it doesn't necessarily have to be walking. Like right now, I am moving. I'm moving around the room as we speak. I'm rubbing this out. I'm moving. So the key is getting moving, not necessarily going to the gym and exercising and stuff like that. We just need to be more active in our lifestyles, because what happens is people that go to the gym, say 3 times a week, then end up going on to end up more sedentary for the rest of the week, because I think, well, I've done my 3 gym workouts, right? You know, I don't need, and so they end up being less active than somebody that just wants to get more active, if that makes sense. Does that make sense, Rhona? Yeah?
Yeah, that does.
Because people are like, oh, I've been to the gym, or they think, well, I've ate this so I can go and burn 150 calories off. It's actually about moving to flatten the curve. So me and my family, Jennifer and Lewis, the Momentum Business, the family, NRG family, we've been doing walks all week, and every time we go out, we keep saying, right, we're going to flatten the curve. So we'll maybe have our lunch and then we'll go for a walk, and that'll help to burn off the sugar. So we're then not now storing it as fat. Our bodies are then producing less insulin, less fat. So get your bums moving, guys. That's all I'm saying. So I hope those 3 hacks helped. Eat your greens first, dress your carbs, move. 3 simple hacks. Introduce those, eat real food, see the fat loss come off, release the fat. So it's not about starving yourself. Like, this is another thing with the calorie counting and the diets. They're restrictive, they're tedious, they're time consuming. So what happens is people starve themselves, and then they go to the gym, they start doing crazy exercise, or they're then putting their body in a deficit, right? But they're doing it extremely. So they're restricting themselves, and it's not sustainable, because you can't do that for the rest of your life. But also what happens is the brain then perceives it as a threat. So when it perceives it as a threat, it wants to keep it. So you don't lose the weight. So I think a lot of people that, like, they think, I'll go to the gym, I'll do more exercise, I'll lose weight. That can actually probably have a reverse effect on you actually losing weight in the long run. Because you end up, your body thinks, the brain thinks it's running from a tiger, you're putting it under more stress. So to release fat, it's actually opposite. We want to take the stress off. Like we have Rhona, there is no stress. This isn't a stressful process. She can still eat what she wants, but she eats good most of the time, and she keeps active and she moves a lot, you know, walking the dog and all that kind of stuff. That's probably where the results have really come from. So I hope that those 3 hacks help. I'm not going to go on anymore. I think that's half an hour's enough of me on a Saturday morning, I'm sure. Any questions on that, anybody? Let's have a look. John Higgins. John said, well done. Couple of years since he worked with Dan, and he's still keeping it off. So, John, keep up the good work. Great to hear from you. Hope you're doing well. Hope the family are doing well. I think John lived over in Alloa, actually. Yeah, that's right. If it's right. I think I'm right, John. Alloa, isn't it? Yeah, I'm sure it was. Well done. Congratulations, buddy. Keep up the good work. That is absolutely fantastic. Gillian said excellent work. Cara Wilson says excellent work as well. Mariola, still at the weight when I left you. Mariola, done a live interview with Mariola, I think in 2020 or something like that. She lost like 42 pounds or something. Mariola, well done. I was actually chatting to your daughter Corinne the other day. I was doing a couple of voice notes where we were having a wee chat. Hope you're doing well. Keep up the good work. It just shows you the sustainability of this program, as it's forever. Once you learn how to do this properly once and for all, you can sustain it for the rest of your life. So congratulations. Paula, I'll get that 5-point training to you. Gillian Shivers is asked, how much is your program after August, please? So right now, Gillian, that's a great question. Like, people ask me that all the time. Right now, I'm not offering you a place on my program. So right now, there's no cost. So what I recommend you do, Gillian, is that you reach out to me. We have a chat, we have a conversation, because everything I do is individually tailored based on what's best for you. And right now, I think this is a problem in the weight loss industry, Rhona, I find, is that, like, all too often people just sell a program without knowing if they can actually help that person. Mm-hmm. So I want to make sure, firstly, I can help you. I want to make sure it's a right fit for you, but also I want to make sure that you're going to follow the process as well, because I only want people that are ready to make change and commit to the process. So it's a two-way thing. Like, you know, I'm not offering I had somebody a couple of weeks ago that I said, this doesn't sound like it's going to be a fit for you, so I'm not going to offer you a place on my program. So right now there is no cost. The question I would ask you would be, would it be worth it if you could get the same results as Rhona to invest in your health? One-off payment to change your life forever. You know, would it be worth it to, listen, we spend on cars, mobile phones, houses, and Rhona does about 10 holidays a year. Your health, it's your wealth. Without your health, then you're like, what else can you do? You're like, you know, yeah, you can't replace your heart valve. They cost quite a lot of money nowadays. Let's see. So yeah, reach out to me. Looking good, Rhona. That's from Liz White. Chris has asked for the 5-point. I'll get that over to you, Chris, as well. And Liz is live. Yeah, I think that's it. So I'm going to check out now. If any other questions, feel free to reach out. But book in for a free weight loss audit call. That's what I would say. You've got nothing to lose except the weight, you know, and changing your mindset. And if you're really stuck, then we have a chat. Listen, if it's a fit, it's a fit. If it's not, then at least you maybe got some clarity and value to where you're maybe going wrong. So thanks again, Rhona. Really appreciated. And thanks to the audience. It's been some great engagement. It's the first time I've actually done a live on a Saturday for a long time. I normally do them on a Thursday night. So I think Saturday's quite a good day, actually. I think I might start doing Saturday. You've started a new trend, Rhona. Brilliant. See you soon. Thanks for your time. Bye, everybody.